Hello and welcome to Light Waves by todderbert. If you enjoy reviews of flashlights, rechargeable lanterns, and other portable light sources, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any of my most excellent videos. In front of us, we have the Vastlite i7. It's a high-output, single AAA powered flashlight. You can find this selling at flashlightgo.com currently at making this video for $15.99. I'll links down below in the paid link section or non-paid link depending. The battery that you can get with it comes without a battery. You can run it with a normal AAA battery, like you're on loop, or an alkaline, or you can opt to do a 10440, which I did. So I spent a little extra, about $6.99, on a 10440 rechargeable battery, and I'll show you that in a second when we open it up. So awesome. Let's check it out. I love these little AAA powered flashlights. I have a few to compare it to give you an idea. If you haven't seen my reviews, check them out. Here you go, Vastlite i7 user manual. Okay, so we'll open this up. Usually I take it out, but the way it was packaged, it looked good. Good way to present it. So there's our flashlight. We got this foam. Let's kind of this out of here. Packed really good. And then we got some O-rings. Always nice to have some spares. And then we have our user manual. We'll pull that out. We have our empty case. So I'll just throw that aside. All right. Okay, O-rings. We've seen these before, right? Okay. So let's get to the manual here, Vastlite. All right. Okay, right there. Boom. We have low, medium, high, turbo. So 4 settings. Nice. No strobe to get in the way. The strobe can be a little annoying. As you can see with the output on the 10440, and then you got output for the AAA standard battery. So there you are. You can see definitely on turbo, you're getting quite a bit out of that lithium 10440. The run times are pretty interesting. That holds up pretty well with that little rechargeable battery. Nice. And going down here, you can see more stats in case I missed something. You got it all right there. You got weight, 25 grams without the battery. Nice aluminum version. I guess they might have a different version. Very cool. Over here, so we got a reverse Clicky tail switch. So it's different than a forward. We'll talk about it. And you got a warranty. There you are. Pretty simple. And contact details. Zoom in there. There you go. In case you need to get a hold of them. And I think that's it because everything on this page is Chinese. All right. It's all Chinese to me? Yes, it is. Let's zoom in on down. This is a little guy. Yeah. So it stays in focus. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's do dimensions. So in length, we have 3 1/4 inches, or in millimeters, 83. I love that. Head diameter is 5/8 of an inch, or 16 millimeters. And our tail diameter is 9/16 of an inch, or 14 millimeters. I love that tail. Nice and flat, allowing it to tail stand. Ta-da! Love that. Especially with a tail switch operated flashlight. I mean, that's genius. I love it. I mean, it's the little things, right? Yeah, definitely. So actually, I should do a size comparison now. Let's go ahead and bring this back up to give you an idea just how small this thing really is. All right, so I do have, I'm trying to think. I don't have anything really small. I should have brought it up. But anyway, I got a little AAA battery. I got a AA battery. Give you an idea what AA size. Quite the difference. See, some people like to carry ultralight or very small, so it's very convenient to carry. And that's good because you always have light on you, which is nice. Here's your typical AA powered tail switched flashlight. So basic through night saber. It has 2 modes, very basic. And then for another flashlight, I don't really have much. I just have this smaller AA powered through night. I forget what they call this one. TI Pro. Yeah. And it's actually almost the same length as that AAA. So I should have brought out my little Tiki. Tiki's probably about that big. The Roivon A1 is probably something like that big to give you an idea. You know, but for size, you get a general feel for just how dinky that is. Now, I have some competition, which I'm going to show you. Give you an idea with those. We have the EDC A8. I think I'm saying that right. It's got an exposed tail. Not really a fan of exposed tails, but you got it right there. So we got the A8, and it's a little shorter. I believe it's a painted surface. Doesn't look like a hard anodized. It's pretty shiny. All right. And then we have one of my favorites, the Lumatop tool AAA. Yeah, a lot of people have this one and they're happy with it. Pretty cool. And this shares some of the characteristics this does. But you can see these actually look quite smaller compared to the Vastlite. If I just put them kind of next to each other. Boom. All right, great. But, this has quite a few conveniences, so let's go ahead and check it out. So the i7, all right. Let's go over features we can expect if you buy one. So going to the front, we have TIR optics. Close on that. We'll take a look in the garage. I took some pictures in there. We'll show you kind of how that beam pattern is. It's pretty good. Okay. The optics, as you can see, our TIR I mentioned. The LED down there is an OSRAM GW. It's the P8 cool white with a blue tint to it, but not so blue like the Lumatop. This thing is really like bright bluish white. I don't like it as much, but I'll probably try to put these two together to give you an idea for beam pattern and what they look like. But yeah, this one here definitely is blue compared to this. This is more bluish white, just a hint of blue. So that would provide. The body is aluminum, of course, and it's a Type 3 hard anodized finish. I really like the matte finish of this. Looking good. Definitely a nice setup there. We have our hat belt clip, which is very robust. I mean, this thing, if you look at that, it's quite large profile compared to these others. Mainly just belt clips or hat clips. This one can actually be reversed. Whoops, the magnet. You can reverse this one to go hat. That's nice. I don't think the 8er had that, or can you? Yeah, that one's reversible too. So you can go each way on these. It's kind of nice, but you got to pop them off, and over time it's going to wear out if you keep doing that. So it's nice. It's all in one on this. You don't have to mess around. It's notched though, so it's in that one position. You can't move this. This doesn't slide. I guess that's a good thing too. If you don't want it moving around, it's in a fixed position. Like I say, there's a little notch there and it lines up and locks in. Spot for a lanyard if you had one to hook it on. That's not a bad thing. Again, tail switch is magnetic, as you saw. Pretty strong magnet too. Let's see what we got. A battery here. This Moly Cell 18650. As you can see, it holds the flashlight up like this, or so it can hold its own weight, which is good, and it can hold the battery weight too as well. I don't know if it'll hold it going horizontal. It does. Wow, that's a strong magnet. Okay, good deal. So that gives you an idea. Holding up an 18650, about 45 grams. Nice. All right, so there you go. And yeah, it's this doesn't unscrew. This just rotates here. The front actually opens up, so let's show you that. So this just opens up here. Got an O-ring here. That's where your extra O-rings come in handy. What I really like is the build. The thickness of this body is amazing. Probably why it looks like a thicker, bigger flashlight. Man, that's awesome. I love that. The battery I'm using, you can pick up on their website as well as flashlightgo.com, is the Mancur Light. And this is neat because it has a USB-C input and it charges it fairly low, which is nice. So if you're looking, you don't want to have it overcharged or too fast of a charge, use this and plug it in. I believe it was a really nice low charge rate. I was very happy with it. But the runtime, it's a 300 milliamp hour, so don't expect a huge amount of runtime. Might be a little less than advertised, as I give you the advertised reading. So I think they might have used a higher capacity one, like I want to say 360 maybe, 330, whatever. It's a little bit more, the one without the USB-C, whatever the standard 10440s are. But that gives you an idea. I like this little guy. This is $6.99, by the way, if you're wondering at the making of the video. Cool. So in there it goes. We're going to use that because, hey, this thing's a torch, and I wanted it to be super bright. I thought it was very cool. They advertised turbo at 545 lumens. Oh yeah, that's exciting. So there's some interesting ways to turn this on and off. So tail, like I mentioned, is a reverse clicky. So if you do anything momentary, nothing happens until you click it in. Once clicked in, turns on. I have mode memory, of course. Now you can do reverse clicky, which is half presses now while it's on. So you got low, medium, high, and turbo. And like I say, it remembers mode memory, which is nice. So it'll remember. Let's go. I think we go back to low. To remember if it's like turn it off and wait 3 seconds. I think it's something like that. I'm not sure, but it's yeah, I think it's 3 seconds, and then turn it back on. And it remembers. Yeah, there we go. So there's our low. Nice. So very simple to operate. No strobe to mess with. I like that. Now, there's no lockout, so that's a problem with this tail switch, right? Well, it's like with most of them, but what I like about this is similar to the Lumatop, is you can just turn the head. It's locked out. Now, the nice thing is you can use the head now to turn it on and off instead of using the tail. So in some cases, it might be on a keychain, or you may have a certain lanyard set up where you got to grab it from like this, and you have to use the head to turn it on and off. And some people don't mind this, and you can go through the modes this way as long as the tail's actuated. So yeah. That's a cool setup. I like that. And I'm just twisting the head to go through the modes. and turning it on and off. So we'll, I guess just leave it on if you guys don't mind me clicking it. So let's go ahead, head to the garage where I took some pictures of the i7 in action. Yeah, loving that. Just to give you a good overview here. Nice little grip. Yeah, I mentioned that, but nice little grip to it. You got your standard IP68 waterproof, 1 meter drop resistance. It's a little guy. I expected it to be a little higher, but it wasn't for some reason. But you get what you get, right? Your magnetic base, like I mentioned, tail stands. I mean, that is a cool thing. I mean, that is fun. Flashlight's got to do that. I remember that was a big deal back in the day. So, all right, let's head to the garage where I took pictures of the i7 in action. So here I am in the garage, 15 feet away from the garage door. The light's on turbo. I'm using a 10440 cell. Its turbo is 545 lumens. Expect a runtime of 1 minute. Yep. Before it throttles down, probably around 150 lumens. It runs the remainder of the battery to 80 minutes, and giving you a total throw of 102 meters. The highest throw out of all the lights I showed you. Now we're going to high. This mode's 150 lumens, which is pretty respectable. And high here is runtime has 2 hours before the battery is depleted. Next, we're on medium. This mode is 80 lumens. Expect a total runtime of 3 1/4 hours. And 80 lumens is a good step mode down. Though I noticed that there wasn't a huge difference between medium and high to my eyes, even though it was double the luminosity. It just wasn't enough. So if I was on medium, I'd probably stay on medium all the time and get that extra runtime. And now last mode, low. This is 3 lumens. It's always good to have a 3 lumen or lower mode or a sublumen mode because these are great, especially to extend the battery's life. And the battery will run 65 hours before it is depleted. Okay, let's go back to the bench. Awesome. So we'll go ahead. We'll bring in the Lumatop. Now I'm trying to remember how I had this set up. I think this has a where you can do the front as well. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it does. That's nice. So we'll start them out in the lowest mode possible. I'm not sure what the Lumatop's is. I have it written down somewhere. So the Lumatop has a low of, I don't know. It's like you look around and you're like, did I write it down? No, but I think I have it in this the Lumatop guide, which is good. So its low is 5 lumens. All right. There's medium 32 and high 110 using the standard AA battery. It cannot use a 10440. It's forbidden. All right, great. So you get an idea. Let's go ahead and turn this one on. Okay, it's low. Looks brighter. Probably because it's not as diffused, I'm guessing. All right, and we'll bring in a deck of cards. I think I have one. Iron Man. Iron Man. He's the man with the master plan. Deck of cards to give you an idea for size for these little guys. And let's turn the lights off. We'll go over to beam pattern and we'll RFI test and then do final thoughts. So, okay, bring them up. So remember the Lumatop's in my left hand and the Vastlite i7 is in my right hand. Okay, so bringing in the Vastlite. Here we are. Because he's kind of got a little bit of a bluish tint to it. Not too bad. More noticeable on the lower mode. This is the lowest mode here. And then we got the Lumatop, which I think has a more of a bluish white tone to it. Especially as you ratchet it up. So there we go. Moving through. So Vastlite, Lumatop. Vastlite, Lumatop. See, I'm trying to do this fast enough so my camera can't compensate for the color, which it tends to. But you can see definitely Lumatop has the bluish white. Okay, and it's $16.99, so it's $1 more. So you gotta wonder, what the heck? Yeah, so at the current making, this was $16.99. 3 mode. Yeah, I mean, it's still a good flashlight. I like it. But yeah, I like the color of this light better, and I like the throw. It's got more spill, so if we bring this in from the side, you can see that I'm turning off the Lumatop. Just to give you an idea. This is to show you. There's no huge competition because it's what you like. There's just so many out there. So here you go. Yeah, nice center spot, and you do have spill. So that's from the optics. Nice. So maybe at the ceiling, and we'll go through the modes. It's the best way to show the turbo, of course. And we'll just I'm gonna twist the head. I think it's easier. There we go. There's our next mode. Up, medium. There's high, and then there's turbo. Of course, turbo having 650 lumens. Yeah, reflecting nicely off the ceiling. Let's go through them again. Yes, at medium and high, it's not a discernible difference, just slight, ever so slight. You see a little bit of a boost there. There you go. Okay, you get an idea. So let's go to low. I like low. Low is great for most things, especially bench work like this. And it'll bring out a radio. Yeah, this is nice. I always like to do a RFI test. I'm not sure what I'm tuned on, so let me turn it on. I got this Skywave here, and then what I'm going to do is I could use the flashlight to see the buttons. Because I have to tune to my semi-locals. Okay, turn this up.
1,000 career points here with the Seattle Storm, the second fastest to ever get there. When you hear those accolades, have you kind of taken a moment to take that all in?
I'm just grateful to be here. You know, it was a different story a couple years ago. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep playing. So I'm glad that Seattle allowed me to find a new love for the game.
I'm going to let the crowd cheer one more time for NECA because she definitely deserves it. Give it up for NECA.
Okay, as you can tell, there's no RFI. Awesome! Alright, let's go ahead and turn the lights back on. And we'll do final thoughts. And, well, usually I like to do my likes and dislikes and wants. Alright, great. So go ahead and turn that off. Bring in Iron Man. He's doing it with Master Plan. Yeah, I always say that. It's part of my radio thing. Yeah, I always do the radio because my channel is mainly portable radios, and I went with portable lighting because it makes sense. Do you see how nicely this worked with that radio? Fantastic. So, loving it. Okay, let's go over what I like about it. Premium build quality. Boom. I mean, for $15.99, that's great. You saw how nicely this is made. It's fantastic. The 10440 support. Okay, you can't beat that. The magnetic tail. For a small light like this, I like this. I like the mag tail. I think it's definitely welcome and very useful. And definitely wherever you're using it. Tail standing is beautiful. Though I don't know if I wrote that down. Probably didn't. Oh, I did. 4 step modes versus 3 or 2. I mean, it's nice to have an extra mode, even if it's not the best in between mode. It's okay. You know, it does what it has to. I like the clip that's robust. Hat belt all in one. You don't have to flip this thing around. It's locked into position and good to go. I don't mind that the front, you can unlock it and lock it. And then, of course, do mode select. It looks like it was built. They didn't say it in the manual, but this thing was built to turn because you can see how it's knurled right there on the top. So they built that with the intention of doing that. So kudos to them for that as well. And me discovering it. Competitive pricing. Okay, I do like that because it's a good price. Definitely. And that FlashlightGo.com site down there in the paid link or non-paid link section. I don't know. I think it's non-paid. You can check them out. They're really cool. I like to peruse their site. Do some shopping there. They're excellent. They got quite a few flashlights you can't find on Amazon. So, yeah, that's why I picked it up there. Not bad. So, dislikes and wants. Well, a non-mag base option, just in case I don't want the magnet. Sometimes you don't want to, stick into your keys or key rings and stuff. Sometimes you don't want that. So, that's the only want or dislike. Like something you can unscrew and put a non-mag on it. It'd be nice. Or removable somehow. I want to say there's a flashlight that has a non-mag base option. I don't know. I think it's a bigger one. I think it's the Tool AA. Could be wrong, but you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. Probably. I know they have something like that. So overall, what do I think? Well, it's a quality AAA powered everyday carry pocket flashlight with plenty of utility at a reasonable price. It gets a recommended buy all day long. Thumbs up all the way. So if you like the video and you like this flashlight, this i7, give a big thumbs up. You guys are the best. I like watching his videos. I'm glad to add light waves to the channel. I think it's fantastic to review these little guys, especially the smaller ones. These mean a lot to me. Doing these smaller flashlights, I really like them. And you're probably wondering, you're going to say, Todderbert didn't say which one's the best. Well, this is the best one out of the 3. If I had to pick, I'd pick this one. I'd probably pick the Lumatop 2nd and the AA 3rd. That's just my opinion. This has a strobe in it, which, really, you don't need a strobe for a little dude, really. You don't. But, yeah, I would go this one, that one. So, there you go. And this is $12.99, by the way. This is a value leader. So, there's that. Going for it. So, if you need cheap, it's not bad. It gets the job done. But I like the versatility of these two better. There it is. Okay, cool. If you like these little flashlights, want to see more, subscribe to the bell icon. And, of course, 3, comment down below. What do you think about the i7 Vastlite? Would it be a model you pick up and put in your everyday carry kit? Because, to be honest with you, you put this in a pocket, little pouch, whatever, you'll have it ready all the time because it's small enough. You won't even know you have it or you're carrying it around. Just fantastic. These little lightweight jobs. Love them. And 545 lumens on tap. Bingo. All right. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in my next awesome video.